action.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to Up, Down, Left, Right, your video game podcast. I'm Charles.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jeff.
All right. Now that we got through that one.
Yeah, third time's a charm.
Third time is a charm. So we wanted to talk about Pokemon.
Yeah, we were
Just like-
kind of started this to see what, just be able to talk about what our ultimate version of a game would be. And we wanted to start off with Pokemon because I think everybody has a Pokemon game, that ultimate version of Pokemon that they want to play. And, with the new Nintendo Switch out, they're for sure going to do a Pokemon game. There's no way that they're not going to do a Pokemon game on the Switch. And so I figured we could talk about what we'd want to see in a Nintendo Switch Pokemon game.
Yeah, I think when we talk about our ultimate or think about our ultimate Pokemon game, I'm thinking more like I'm a huge Skyrim fan. I had over like 400 hours of gameplay, and I still haven't beaten everything. Some stuff I haven't just because, like, for example, the Thieves Guild, I never gave back the key because I'm a jerk like that. I was like, no, I'm not going to give this up. It doesn't break. It's awesome. But I think something along the lines of Skyrim, an open world environment, and also to include a multiplayer to have other people in there. I think that would be neat. You have your team.
Big MMO version of Pokemon.
Kind of, but not so much like an MMO, like WoW. Where you have a bunch of people. Like, no, you just have like select friends that you.
Well, for me, I thought, especially the Switch and the Wii U, Pokken Tournament came out, which was a Pokemon game, a fighting game with Pokemon made by the same company that does Tekken. And so for me, I thought it would be awesome if a Pokemon game, the fighting mechanics were the same fighting mechanics as Pokken Tournament, where you have the story mode and you're traveling around and you run into trainers and you see the gym leaders, or you fight the gym leaders and everything, and the way you fight is with the Pokemon, like in Pokken Tournament. And
so kind of like how the cartoon was, where you can control their moves and like make them dodge and stuff.
Oh yeah, and then when you're catching Pokemon, your Pokemon can do a grapple move and make it easier for you to throw a Pokeball at it.
Spit in its face while it's holding it, like your game.
Curb stomp.
Whoa!
I mean, sorry.
I think bigger would be awesome. It would be amazing if they used the Breath of the Wild engine to make it
that cartoony look.
Well, the ability to go anywhere and climb mountains, and you climb up to the top of the mountain and you find Charizards up there. You find Charizard eggs, and you can try and steal an egg and run away from the Charizard.
That would be terrifying. That just sounds terrifying to me. It's
a couple of Charizards just chasing you throughout the mountains.
That freaked me out, especially if it was like a time base where it goes nighttime and you're like doing it at night and
flames.
Oh man, all you hear is just roar, and you're like, oh my god, and you start running for your life.
Yeah, if they did that, do they add a health bar to your character as well as your Pokemon?
I think they should. It'd be fair, right? Yeah, stamina and the will to live. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
My ultimate Pokemon game would be like Skyrim.
Okay, so that's what it is. It's like mine, and that. No, okay, sorry.
Like an open world, but have the other regions as DLCs.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind buying the other regions for $60 because that's a full game,
right? Kind of like Skyrim.
Maybe not 60.
Excuse me, I'm talking. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of like Skyrim did. Skyrim had those you can buy the DLC for Morrowind, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a full game. That'll take you a couple of hours.
Right. Well, and it expands the game. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I look at Sun and Moon, and one of the main characters in Sun and Moon, after she finishes in the Alolan region, she's like, I'm going to Kanto because there's things I got to do there. And so it would be awesome. The DLC, just you get to follow her to Kanto and help her on her her next quest, and maybe they make you restart. They're like, okay, well, you're in a new region, and you have to get approval from the Elite Four before you can use Pokemon from your Alolan region.
Right.
So
Wasn't
so you got to start over with the professor or something.
Right. Well, wasn't gold and silver like that? Like you did that. You did gold. You finished gold, and then you went over to the Johto, right?
Yeah.
And you could go through that one,
Yeah,
right?
you could go through both.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why
I
they
think
didn't they stopped continuing to do that.
I don't know. I missed out on that one. I played the first ones, and then jumped back in at X and Y.
So you didn't even get into like Pearl and Diamond and
No,
Black and White.
I played. Yeah, I just played. I had Blue and Yellow.
Okay.
Were the two ones I had, and then jumped all the way to X and Y, and then sort of went from X and Y to the next ones, and then also backtracking a little bit.
Right.
Why are you here?
Yeah, you have no opinion. So this is going to be Jeff and I's talk now.
I know.
So
Yeah. No, but yeah, I think DLC would be pretty good because the new Sun and Moon, Sun and Moon came out last year, and then now they're releasing Ultimate Sun and Ultimate Moon. And
yeah, that irritates me. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of irritates me because it just came out last year, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like Black and White. It's like, oh, we came out with Black and White. Let's come out with Black and White 2.
Yeah.
Just to fill the gap. And in a way, I feel like it's just another way to suck up our money.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
people are
they,
gonna
Pretty
buy
much
it.
the same story.
well,
Is
they're
it?
saying it's a new story because Black and White and Black and White 2 had two different stories, but I mean, I feel like you could just add DLC and add the new story onto the game. I mean, if you have your 3DS with the little SD card in it.
I know. I wish they would do is pick new starters. Good God! I mean,
Rather than like grass, fire, and water.
yeah, do dragon, fairy, and ghost. Or
Oh, I
something.
thought you just meant new starters for the Alolan, because I think Sun and Moon, that was like the weakest thing. Is their starters kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the owl eventually kind of became cool because he was a ghost grass and became some sort of hipster Robin Hood.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I look at how they do the evolutions, and I'm like, someone was high on something when they came up with it. I'm like, what is this? You know, like the cat. I'm like, what? I don't like cats. I hate them. But it's a fire, so I guess I have to get it. You know, because I like fire types. You know.
Well, the water type in the new one was terrible. It looked.
Oh, the seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm sorry to anybody who liked it, but
I mean, if you like
It wasn't
SeaWorld,
cool.
you're going to like it, you know. So you think it's going to be on the Switch, they're going to have a Pokemon game on the Switch. You think that for sure? Because
that's what it sounds like. I think I saw an interview with one of the makers at Game Freak, and they said they were working on a Switch Pokemon game.
You know what, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like the Switch is a step towards getting rid of like handheld consoles as far as like the 3DS and Game Boy kind of stuff, because now it's their new like handheld system in a way.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? I mean, do you think they're going to stop making a handheld system or what?
Maybe eventually with the Switch, but I think that it'll be a phase out for the 3DS. Nintendo's highest selling console was the 3DS, and that's where they get a lot of their customers. So I think it'll be a while before you stop seeing games for the 3DS.
I think they'll actually keep the 3DS just because it's more kid friendly, I should say.
So like families can get it for their kid to break pretty much.
Pretty much.
Kind of thing.
It takes
Or
a little
try.
bit more of a beating than the Switch does.
Yeah. Or it's probably going to be like, how PlayStation had their PS2 for how long? Over 10 years. They made and sold the console.
Yeah.
They're just going to continue making.
But what I'd like to see them do is like with Super Smash Bros. How the 3DS actually became a controller that can connect to the Wii U.
Yeah, I don't understand why they haven't really utilized that.
Well, I was waiting for that to happen on the Wii U, and because the only game it worked on was Super Smash Brothers.
Brothers.
So that was, you had a $150 controller
Yeah.
as the 3DS, and so I mean,
But the incentive was it was a gaming console as well, so it wasn't just $150.
right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Controller.
mean, the 3DS sold more than the Wii U did, so it probably didn't make any sense for them to put a lot of effort into that. But maybe you could have sold more Wii U's if you were going, oh well, you can also connect your 3DS to it now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but I don't know. I still think the Switch is gonna. I foresee the Switch just taking over, like the first step of eliminating handheld consoles in general. Like probably the next gen system that Nintendo comes up with, you won't see any more like 3DSs or whatnot.
Yeah.
Because another thing I look at is like even the game cartridges. I mean, look at the game. They're going back to cartridges. It's no longer disc. You know.
Oh yeah, it was.
Which is kind of funny. It's like they took that step forward, but then went back, which I feel is a smarter move because I always felt like a cartridge could read a lot faster and is a lot more durable than a disc.
Well, for the Switch, and we'll talk about what we've been playing, but I've been playing Breath of the Wild, and there's almost no load time for anything. It's this huge open world. You can go anywhere. And I mean, I remember Skyrim going into cities and stuff like that. And you're waiting for these long load times. I mean, you could barely do anything in Skyrim and still put in, a couple hours just because the load times were so long.
Right.
And Breath of the Wild, you open a door, you walk into a room and you're already in that room. You turn around, you walk out, and there's no load time whatsoever.
Right.
And
well, even like the PS4, Jeff has a PS4. You have a PS4 too, and you could testify to this. Is when you put a game in now, it's like seems like every game you get, you have to download like 20 to 30 gigs worth of data to play the game, and it's not necessarily for the game itself, but it's just to help the loading be quicker. But it's just like for me, I feel like it's an oxymoron. It's like, man, now I'm no wonder these consoles are coming out with 1 terabyte and all this 2 terabyte systems, or better adaptivity, if that's a word, for or modding so you can have more storage just to play a freaking game. And you have the disc. To me, it frustrates me.
Yeah, you just might as well buy the digital copy.
Right. All that memory, might as well just buy the digital copy and not even have the disc at that point. But at the same time, I'm old school. I don't trust the interweb, and I have to have a physical copy just to make sure I have a physical copy.
Yeah, I like having the physical copy.
Just like music. Everybody loves their iTunes or Amazon or their Google Play. Not me. I like it. I utilize it, but I always buy the CD because I have to have it because I'm just one of those types that it's like a fail-safe file that'll never go bad.
Well, I mean, even CDs go bad eventually,
shut up.
but
No,
it'll take a while.
We've had this is a different topic that we'll talk about later.
No, it doesn't go bad. Floppy disks.
Floppy disks never go away. I still have a flop. I modded my Kia Soul with a floppy disk drive. It's awesome.
Play all your music.
Yeah, I play one song, like 10 seconds of it. It's awesome. The biggest concern I always have is which song am I gonna pick? For those 10 seconds.
What do I want to hear 10 seconds of?
Yeah, and then you hear the driver in there.
Too long to be royalty free.
Right. Just a little bit too long.
Yeah. So what have you guys been playing?
Well, I've been playing Destiny 2.
Just like Destiny 1.
Yeah.
What makes it different from Destiny 1?
I have no idea.
It's got a 2.
I'm just kidding. It has a 2 at the end.
Yeah.
That's really...
yeah.
I was playing Destiny 2 also, and...
That's tricky. I like how you did that. I played Destiny 2 also. Instead of just Destiny 2.
I played Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And one of the things, I think it's pretty fun. It reminds me a lot of Halo, and obviously it's Bungie, so those guys made Halo, but I think I would like to see more RPG elements in it.
Yeah. Thing I've been noticing about with Destiny 2 is they could have released a DLC for it. I think.
Destiny 2?
Yeah.
Or just from Destiny? They
from Destiny to update it to Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel.
Or just have some sort of package, how they had the, wolves or whatever.
One major improvement I did like is when you do level up and you get your exotic gear or whatever gear you want, it actually, when it eats the other gear, it actually levels up with you. So I got a level 15 gear. It's actually level 20 now.
Oh, nice.
So
rather having to find and earn gear or whatever.
Over again that you've already earned before.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
see, I had Destiny 1 and I was a Destiny fan up until they did an update, and then all my legendary gear just was worthless, and I was like, you know what? Bye. See you later. I'm not paying for this anymore. I know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
So forget that. That's a bunch of BS. All the time and effort you put into it
to
get your
grinding.
gear. Yeah, tons of grinding, and then you're making it worthless overnight.
And then another thing that I did like is they actually added power gear, so you can get a power engram, which gives you gear that's over your light level, so you're guaranteed to actually get to the max light level without having to do the raids.
I play that game and I have no clue what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun game. It's just like, again, it's like playing Halo because it's Bungie. It's really just an online Halo. But again, they piss me off when they just. I got bitter. I have a bitterness. That's one of my faults. When you piss me off, there's no turning back. You're done.
Yeah.
I'm done with you. Forget it. Unless you buy me a Snickers, you just know.
Yeah. See, I never played the first one, so I picked this one up, played through it, and I mean, I thought it was pretty fun for an RPG. Or the RPG elements of it. Like I said, I think I would like to see them go a little further with the RPG elements. And I think it's a little hard with a shooter versus, when you're in the sword and fantasy sort of magic
where you
type
have
of game.
Yeah. But honestly, it's kind of like a similar thing, though. You have your warlock, you have your hunter, and then what's the other one?
The Titan.
The Titan. So it's like the same premise.
Yeah.
It's all about building your team.
Yeah, I think as far as the weapons go, I'd like to see more being able to modify the weapons more. And I mean, in Skyrim or in the Elder Scrolls games, it's enchantment. So
yeah,
and I think they have something similar you can do. They have power sets you can put on there, but I mean, to me, maybe it's just because I'm not super up to date. Like, I didn't play the first one, so I don't understand how to do it. Like, I don't think it's as user friendly to change your power ups and stuff like that
but I do admit the story on the first one. I like the story.
What else? What have you been playing?
So I've been playing on my PS4, and I have a Vita, but I've been playing YS Origin.
Yes.
I've been going in. So it's by Fiocom, and they make a game series called Legend of Heroes, and I'm a big fan of that. I really liked it, but I also saw they made the YS stuff, and so I was like, I want to check this out, and it's pretty fun. It kind of it's got this Zelda kind of element, but you can upgrade yourself, and I mean, it's a linear story. It's a mindless game. It's not very complicated. I liked it. But in the meantime, besides that game, I was playing, what's it called? For Honor.
Oh, yeah.
And if you really want to get pissed,
matches.
if you want high blood pressure at the age of 18, 15, play that game. That really does it. I don't know how many times I've played it, and I've had a horrible team, and I'm carrying the team, and then you'll get one guy that has the audacity to personally message me and saying I did a horrible job, yet he had the least amount of kills and he did the least amount of work to help the team. And it's like
the dark side of online play.
Right. And then he, and it's like, wait a minute, bro. If you're going to talk smack, at least be the leader.
Yeah.
know, when I'm the one like carrying the team, don't even go there.
Yeah.
You know, but I really just played. Once I got all the achievements to that game, I was like, I'm done. I can't do it. My blood pressure's getting too high for this.
I put it down for a little bit, and I picked it up again just because
It's changed a lot.
I like the fighting mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's different. It's
Yeah.
a learning curve.
There's a huge learning curve. You can't just pick that game up and dominate. At least I couldn't. You can't pick up and just dominate. And
No. What I loved about what drew me to the game, well, not only you telling me about it, but what I thought was hilarious and awesome was like when the first time I played it, and I'm the Viking dude. Like I don't know the classes, I don't know the names, I don't care. I just know, but the main Viking character you can get.
you're the big guy with that
With the
giant
axe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had him, and he's freaking epic and metal, and like, so I'm running, and I tackle a guy, and I throw him off a cliff, and I knew, I was like, this game is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a total fluke. I didn't know you can use the environment. And kind of going back to the Pokemon game you're talking about, that'd be sick too, to be able to control your Pokemon and use the environment and slam its head on the ground or whatever. You know, throw it into spikes, but now you can't catch it because you just killed it.
That might change the rating from E for everyone to M.
Yeah, for mature. You know, you can kill Pikachu. You know,
Smash his head against the tree. Watch
Right.
it go through.
See those spikes on the wall? Just throw him through it. He can't shock you from that. But you know, For Honor's fun, but again, it does get old after a while. The story mode's pretty cool, but again, it gets old really quick because you're like, oh, it's the same thing over and over again. And let's face it, I like multiplayer, but only with people I know. When it's with people I know, I don't like it because you get.
This game would have been awesome if it had split screen multiplayer. I feel like being able to play split screen with it would have been amazing. Just being
Like on
able
a local game.
Yeah, just like have, you're hanging out and you just pick it up and.
But technically, you could do that if you had friends that had their own console.
Yeah, I
Xbox
mean,
or PlayStation, you could just do it.
You can do the LAN party and play online with each other, which is cool, but.
I kind of miss the split screen.
Yeah, I miss split screen a little bit.
Cheating, like
People
you're
over.
looking at my screen. No, I'm not. I don't know where you're at.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
something fun about, especially fighting games like that, where you, when you beat somebody and just like gloat right there in their face versus sending that online message. And I can barely type with the PlayStation controller.
Right. And there was nothing worse, especially in the Halo days. You know, like. Playing multiplayer, and you had those friends. Halo, I feel like, was the first game really where you had people that really learned how to be quick snipers. You know, they knew how to utilize it really well. And like, dude, it was so horrible when you had your friends and you're playing, and then you had an a-hole friend that can do it really well, and everyone knew they were effed. You're like, we're not getting. Remember that we had our group. Mm-hmm. We had a group of guys that would get together. And there's one dude that just take all of us out, and we'd be pissed, and we'd all be coming for him, and he'd still knock us all out. And
I think I turned into a jerk and just started using rockets and
right.
swords.
It's like, you want to play this game? Okay, sticky grenade everywhere. You know?
Yeah.
But that's what I've been playing. But off to the side though, I like to dabble in electronics and do modding and experimentation, and I've been everybody. This is old news. It's not new. It's been done the last couple years, but there's been a bit. People have been modding their Game Boy Advances with their old screens from their Game Boy Advance SP. Mm-hmm. And you had to use the model is the AGS 101, and that's the backlit. You know, and for a while, we all three of us had SPs.
Yeah.
But I never realized. Did you really?
Yeah.
I never realized there were two models until maybe 5 years ago. I was like, oh my gosh, there was two models. You know, there was the backlit and the frontlit, and I know I had the frontlit because when it came out, that's when I got it. You know. But I successfully recently just did the mod, and it's pretty epic. Yeah, I have it right here, just my Game Boy Advance, and I'll power it on. But yeah, I mean, awesome. It works like a glove, man. It's super easy.
Does the light just come on?
Yeah, it just comes on. I mean,
Because the SP you can toggle it on and off if you wanted to.
well, how you have it wired. So when you hook it up, it'll naturally come on, but it won't be on the brightest setting. So you have to, if you're good at soldering, I wouldn't recommend this for everyone. If you're not good at soldering, practice with something else first, because it's pretty. It's not tricky, but you can really screw yourself over.
Yeah.
On the motherboard. But you're going to go into a resistor or transistor, and that'll make it so it's on the brightest setting all the time. You can't toggle it, which honestly, whoever toggled it to the lowest setting, really, unless you're in the middle of the night sitting in your bed, you're not going to do that. You're
Yeah.
going to want it on the brightest setting anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And in the advanced system, like the Game Boy Advance, was the most comfortable.
Oh yeah.
It was
Oh,
wide. It wasn't narrow. I have long fingers. I
It's
have a
made
big
for
hand.
children.
Whatever, adults made it. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
So, but anyway, it was small. So for me, it'd make my hand cramp. But this is great. It's wide. Comfortable.
Yeah.
It's an easy mod. It really is. But it blows my mind. I go online and I see people selling them for like $150. And it's really not that expensive to do.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants one, let me know. I'll do it for cheap, but depending where you live.
Yeah.
If you're in
Say you can undercut the 150 or
right.
maybe put a bundle in. So
I mean, granted,
makes it worth it.
they probably give a warranty saying it'll last for a while, but again, if you're tech savvy, you don't need a warranty. Just open it up and fix it. You know? There's very little that could go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been up to.
Nice. Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Destiny, a little bit of For Honor, and then Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on Master Mode, which has been ridiculous. It is so hard.
Kids.
You start fighting a bad guy, and if your weapons break in this. So
yeah, that's right. I forgot.
So you're fighting them, and you might not have a very strong weapon, so you're just going through weapons, breaking them constantly, and then if you don't hit them quick enough, their health starts respawning.
Yeah.
So if you're not constantly doing damage, their health starts respawning.
It sounds like The Witcher.
I never played Witcher 3.
The Witcher 3 is like that.
Yeah. And so you do that, but they added these awesome things where the bad guys will be on these planks. Mm-hmm. And then if they see you, they'll whistle, and I think they're Octoroks that are tied to the planks, and so the Octoroks will fill up and then float up in the air, and so the bad guy will be on a floating plank. And so if you can sneak up on them, it's awesome. You kill them, and then you jump on there and whistle, and the Octorok will float in the air, and then you use a Korok leaf, and you just blow, you swing it, and it'll blow the plank wherever you want to go. You can have like a little sailing boat there. And then the other thing I just got in the mail, I just started picking up, I'm super excited, is Dragon Warrior Monsters.
What a nerd.
That game was awesome. It was, I think it was a Pokemon-like game, like it came out
It's
after.
it's like
Just
a
to
spin-off.
clarify, it's not a new game.
No,
it's
it's
been out forever.
it was a Game Boy Color game. It came out
Right.
like a little bit after Pokemon, and
It was like the same thing, but minor differences.
well, there were some awesome things they did so much better than Pokemon, and then
this one had monsters.
yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that was frustrating that I haven't gotten there quite yet is when you battle monsters, you can't just catch them. They have to like you while you're battling them. So sometimes
I respect you.
yeah. Sometimes you got to throw meat to them, and they, they're like, oh, this guy's feeding me. I'm gonna follow him. And then if they like you, they'll become your partner, and then you can use them to battle. But so that's frustrating because you don't have just like Pokeballs you can try and catch them.
Now, was it? I've never really played the game. I remember you had it. I remember seeing you playing it. But did it have like how in the premise of Pokemon really in the end was to fill up your Pokedex? That was the main quest and goal of the game. Is it the same thing?
Not really, because you can probably try and get all the monsters, but there's so many variations. There's like, I was looking online, they said over 47,000 variations.
Oh, so who gives a crap?
Because
Just get a strong team.
You're trying to get a strong team, and what it is in this game, so one monster's a slime, one monster's a dragon, and you can breed them. And this was before Pokemon had breeding.
Right.
And then the monster that would come out would be a slime dragon, so it would have the properties of both of them. So that'd be like,
keep looking at him. Look at me sometimes.
Sorry.
That was his chair's angled this way, and
angle, and then
because I know what I'm talking about.
But so like this would be if you were in Pokemon and you could breed.
Oh, I'm listening.
Charizard, and
you weren't
could
looking
breed
at me.
Blastoise.
That's right. Okay.
And then you would get a dragon, or Charizard's not even a dragon.
Yeah,
moron.
he is a dragon.
You would get a fire, you would get a fire water type.
Fire flying.
Yeah. You'd get a fire water type because you just bred these two. And that's where all the variations come from.
Speaking of variations, remember Monster Rancher?
Monster Rancher. That game was terrible.
It was kind of like a Pokemon game. Jeff despises that game. It was awesome. It was hilarious. But it is the worst game ever. I mean, if you like it, good for you because you figured it out. What pissed me off was the fact that your monster died after so long. Like, you trained it up to be super awesome, and all of a sudden it either went away and retired or it died. I always loved Jeff's story on his.
The Phoenix.
The Phoenix he got. Because the Phoenix was pretty hard to get. Like, with Monster Rancher 2, you can put a disc, you could put a DVD in, and no matter what you put in, apparently it wasn't random, but I felt it was random. You'd get a monster.
Some of them weren't random. I heard that some Christmas albums you could put in and you would get a Santa-themed monster.
Right.
So I don't know which Christmas albums or how it knew, but...
Right. Look at him.
Sorry. I don't know which ones or how it knew.
I don't really care because I hate this game.
Right. Well, the funny thing was so we popped in a disc and randomly Jeff was able to get a Phoenix. Was apparently kind of hard to get. Maybe it's not. We could be wrong. I mean, comment below. Maybe you would know better than we would.
Yeah. Any fans of this game?
Yeah.
Even though we don't like it.
I mean, and if you want to check out how horrible this game was, don't buy it. Just go to a retro game shop. They probably have it, and just say, "Hey, could you pop this into the PlayStation and let me see what this is all about?" And you'll get a good idea. I mean, graphically and stuff, it is cool,
Yeah.
I mean, but just the whole fact that you had to keep building your team, you're like, man, gosh, you have to grind. It's Pokemon. You had to grind after you finished the game. You definitely have to grind.
Right, but
this
your
one from
Pokemon
the
couldn't
start.
Your Pokemon couldn't just run away on you.
Right, but from this
or die.
Right, for this game from the start, you're grinding. You're just grinding hard like in a club. But but tell them about your story.
Okay, so I get this Phoenix. I ask my brothers on how to spell the name Phoenix. They thought I asked them how to spell the name Onyx. So I put a PH, because I knew Phoenix started with a PH at the time. And they told me how to spell Onyx, so I spelled Phonics.
Hooked on
Phonics.
So that made it great.
So I was battling. I finally got him up to power, and I started battling. And then after the battle, it just said in the bottom of it, Phonics flew away to go die.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I was so upset.
You were heartbroken for weeks, it seemed like.
I was in my room and I just hear him going, no! Just this gut-wrenching, like his girlfriend died or something. Like she was trying to save her from Titanic and she just fell into the abyss. It's like, dude, it's just a game. But yeah, that game was awful. It was horrible. It's just a giant tease. The whole game was a tease.
So don't add Pokemon Death to the Pokemon games.
That'd be awful. What they should add, which I think would be hilarious because I would totally do this, is if they ever made Pokemon like a mass multiplayer game to where you can steal other people's Pokemon, like throw a ball, catch it, and it's yours now. And
you would have, you could join Team Rocket. You would have people so
I wouldn't even
mad.
hunt Pokemon. I'd hunt players. I'd be like, hey, this dude's got an awesome set. I'm gonna just take it,
And then, like in Skyrim, they'll have the police chasing you,
right.
and so if you build up a bounty on your head.
Well, it could always be like, have you ever played or see the game Eve? It's a MMO type of game. It's set in space. It's huge. It's a huge game. A lot of dedication because it's like real life. You everything takes a long time to do, like mining planets and whatnot. And what happens is you can go and raid people, but it lets them know that who did it and when they did, and so you can go find them, track them down with a group, and annihilate their ship and take and hopefully get your stuff back.
Yeah.
Most likely not, but you just go there and just annihilate them just to prove a point. And some people get pissed to the point where they'll just keep finding that player because you can get a new ship. Just keep finding them and keep killing them till they quit playing Eve.
Oh my god!
So it's like, I mean,
some sort of weird online bullying.
So maybe the Pokemon, it just tells you, hey, this guy just stole your Pokemon. Okay, well, let's go get him. Let's go lynch him with torches. And every time he tries to get Pokemon, we'll just come in and try to get him again.
Team Rocket him, you shock him and send them flying off.
Oh yeah,
that's too funny.
That would be great.
Well,
this has been a great episode.
Yeah,
I think it was fun. I think we need to do it again. We'll talk about other stuff.
This has been Up, Down, Left, Right. I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter at Charles_N_Beck.
Yeah, and this is Mike. I don't have a Twitter. I do, but I forgot the password, so don't even bother. But message below on our Facebook and tell us what you think. Hopefully you like this, and hopefully we'll hear from y'all.
Yeah.
And make more episodes.
I'm Jeff. Bye. Are you scared of the dark?
That's besides the point.